Do you feel like you've run out of time, but you still want to give some handmade Christmas cards this year? Today I'm sharing some quick tips to get you there. And I'm going to be starting with a repeat design. I'm going to be making 4 cards really quick using the same basic design. So I would recommend grabbing design paper. It's a really quick and easy way to add some colour or pattern to your cards. And if you choose some cardstocks out of the same paper pad, although I've got 2 here that are very similar, then that's going to keep your colour palette all together. And it's a great way to use your stash. So I've kept my colours nice and bright for these 4 cards. So I'm going to be adding a panel of this design paper to each card. So in that true batch it out style to make things nice, quick and easy, I am using a rectangle die here, but you could also cut some rectangle cardstock or your design paper using a paper trimmer. And I actually cut multiples of this design paper at once. I thought I was only cutting 2, but then I went looking for the 3rd piece and I'd actually cut all 3. So bonus tip is cut multiples if you can, if it's not too thick. So I'm going to use a perfect align to add these panels to the card front, just using some double-sided tape here. I'm not adding dimension here. This is going to save time. But of course you could eyeball it. And these colors are a lot of fun. So I thought it'd be good to have them on some cute cards today. Don't they make you happy? So cute cards call for critters, and I've chosen these 2 sets purposefully, and it's because I've got the coordinating dies. Having the coordinating dies is going to be a great time saver. The other thing about dies is to make sure that you leave enough room on your cardstock when you're laying out your images so that you can run these images through after you've coloured them, just in one pass of your machine to cut them out. All right, I chose to do some colouring today with Copic markers. Alcohol markers are a really quick and easy way for me to add colour to critters especially, but I know that's not the same for everybody. You can actually colour without shading using alcohol markers, or you can leave things as line art. Keep tuned because you're going to see that maybe coming up real soon. I did some simple shading here because I can't help myself and it doesn't take that long. If you prefer to use a different medium, one that feels faster to you, then do that. Another thing that would speed things up is just to use one color only. And when I say that is like not to do shading, but what I've done here is also just use the same colors throughout all of the critters. So I'm not having to rethink my color palette each time I'm coloring. So I kept the colors pretty neutral because I've got those nice bright backgrounds to put them on and I want them to stand out. And another tip would be to color an image that you've colored before. This does make it easier and faster. I also purposely chose different images. And the reason for that meant that because I'm using coordinating dies here, that I can actually run these through my machine in one pass. I can also stamp multiples in one stamp. If I was using the same image over and over, which is still quite fast, especially if you've got a stamp positioning tool, then I could easily restamp them quite quickly, but I've still got to take the time to run each image back through my die cutting machine. So choosing multiple different images saves time. And so does using a stamp positioning tool. If you have one, make it your go-to for fast and easy card making, because once you've set things up or lined them up, especially if you're going to make multiples, then you can just keep restamping really quickly and easily. So what if you choose to use die cuts instead of stamped and coloured images? There are a few different ways that you can speed up the process of layered die cutting. There's some really cool tools out there that will help, like pickup tools, having a nice, easy to use fine tip liquid glue and fine tip tweezers. I find they can really make a difference. But one of the things that can really help me speed up layering dies, especially of images and cute images or critters, is to use white cardstock. So what I mean by that is you can run all the dies through your die cutting machine in one pass and then colour quickly each little layer, especially if you've got little eyes and nose, mouth, ears. All those things can take time cutting multiple different colours of cardstock. If you've only got white, you've got it all through in one pass, and then you can colour it, each colour that you want, using alcohol markers. I find they're the easiest for this, and they dry really quickly and layer up beautifully without making a mess with the liquid glue. So I did all my die cutting in one pass, and I like to add a lot of low tack tape. You do not have to. It just depends on the way that you die cut. Because I flip mine upside down, I just don't want to take the chance of the metal shifting and damaging either my machine or damaging my dies. So to me, it's worth adding that little bit of extra low tack tape. Plus I reuse it. It doesn't go to waste. And I think these look great, all matchy in the same colours. It's time for a bit more die cutting now, and the sentiments. I find that using layered die cut sentiments is a really quick and easy way to add a sentiment to a card. If you're faster at stamping, you might have a stamp with a nice solid sentiment that you could add directly to design paper. That would look great. You could heat emboss it. You could also stamp it on some white cardstock, like a black sentiment, and then die cut it out if you have a coordinating die. To me, it was just easy to grab the black cardstock for the shadow layer, the white cardstock for the sentiment layer, and add the two together with some liquid glue. Liquid glue is really fast and easy to use. It holds really strongly. Just don't want to add too much, because if you've got a thinner cardstock, it could warp it. I am going to add these sentiments directly to the front of the card. It took all of my effort not to pop them up. It takes time to pop things up because I like to add a second layer of die cut cardstock behind it, and that all adds those extra few minutes when you're in a hurry and you just want to smash out some cards real quick. It's these little time-saving moments that will get you there faster. So I used the liquid glue and added all the sentiments directly to the card front. But when it came to the critters, I couldn't add them directly to the card front. So I did pop them up. I took those extra couple of minutes to pop them up with just a small thin foam dot. Because I've added the sentiment directly to the card front, I didn't want the image sitting out too high. So it is really handy to have a few different widths of foam dot. If you don't have any thin ones, you can actually add some dimension or some small dimension just by layering up some scrap cardstock with some liquid glue behind your image. It's a great way to use up your scrap bits of cardstock too. So these cards are not going to be too bulky to post, so that's going to help keep costs down. But the next cards that we're going to make, well, they're almost one layer. So perfect to post. All right, so my next idea is to use large stamps. We're doing some almost line art here. So these large stamps, you'd never look at them and think, I need some quick and easy cards, let me grab these. They would take me an age to colour. We're only going to be colouring a small portion of them. And again, using a stamp positioning tool is going to help. If you're stamping a large image such as this, there's always the potential to miss stamp. So a positioning tool is really your friend here. Or if you're wanting to create multiples, it makes such a huge difference. This time I decided to colour with some pencils. Now, pencils are not a fast medium to colour with at all, but I just wanted that look on these designs, and I knew that I was only going to be colouring in a small portion of the image. So if you've got a large image or group of images, choose the sections that you think are going to be like a little bit of a highlight. So for me, this snowman, I chose to highlight the scarf, the cat, and also the carrot nose, but you'll see a little bit more later on. But what it does is it brings your attention to a certain portion of the overall image. You still get to use your beautiful stamps that are large and can be intimidating to colour. And I'm going to show you a fun way to take them a little step further and give them that something extra. I didn't do any blending here, not with the Gamsol. I actually just use my pencils really quickly to blend with each other. I do like to add some details. And when it comes to the sentiment, try not to overthink it. Put your hand up if you overthink adding sentiments. I can take hours to choose sentiments. So if you are in a hurry, don't do that. Look at the packaging. There's probably sentiments included in the set that you're using that are going to coordinate with the set. So for these cards, I have used the sentiments that came within the set. That way I'm not having to think too much about which sentiment to put and where. I did make sure that I left a little bit of space below the image to stamp the sentiment, but if you forget to do that, you could always stamp your sentiment on a separate piece of cardstock and cut it out in a rectangle and pop it up on the front of the card instead. So honestly, colouring all these cats in different colours would probably give me palpitations if I was in a hurry. So just choosing one of the cats to colour, I did think about choosing the one with just the tail sticking out. Thought that'd be fun. I did colour the little mouse and also the star. So added a couple of little bits in, but didn't complicate it. It's not looking like much of a card at the moment, but watch, we'll step it up a notch very soon. Although another great idea would be to stamp and heat emboss this image on some coloured cardstock. That would also give it a little bit more of an edge, and if you colour in on coloured cardstock with pencils, then you get a very different look, and it's a lot of fun and easy to do. So you could easily step it up by doing that. All right, so this is how we're going to take these cards just a little bit further. Something that's really quick and easy to do is add splatters, and adding ink splatters is fast because it dries so fast. I've already attached these panels onto an A2 sidefold card, so they're ready to go. I've added just a little bit of water to some blue ink here and tapping it on with the brush. I do like to cover the portions of my images that I don't want big blobs on, because you can guarantee if there are big blobs going to go anywhere, it'll be where you don't want it. So I cover my sentiment, typically any faces of images that I don't want to be coloured, and here I also did the star. Now I stepped it up for the cat card and added 3 different colours. In retrospect, I probably would have liked to add more similar shades that I had in the first card, but at the time I think I was just going with the yellow from the star. And by having the splattered colours there, it just gives the card something a little extra. And speaking of extras, I brought out the white paint pen and drew on some stripes to the scarf and some shimmer onto the star. So these little extras can take the card up a step, but they don't take long to do. They don't take long to dry, and your cards just have more of an edge for a very quick and easy design. And all together now, we did the on repeat design, and then we did the line art design with the bigger stamps and highlighted a small area. Let me know in the comments below if you have a favourite today and if you're going to try any of these techniques. Yes, I made multiples, and I never make multiples, but I did like the red band on the hat much better. And I've got 2 more videos here for you to enjoy. I look forward to seeing you there. If you like today's video, please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. What are you waiting for? It's totally free. Till next time, happy Christmas paper crafting. Bye.